these guys are not the best boxers in the world so far. Talking about heavyweight champions and all
For
that.
now, they are the most talked about fighters.
Okay.
The media frenzy about them is no. You can't compare it with any fighter right now. Anthony Joshua, back in boxing, won his last fight.
Perhaps because both of them are British citizens.
Yes, Tyson Fury also stepped into the ring. That was back in July too. He won his fight against Mariusz Wach. So both fighters are in the best form of their life. And for Anthony Joshua, it's like a Hollywood script. These are things we see in the movie Rising from the Ashes after the tragedy in Nigeria. That was in December. Lost his best friends, back in the ring against Tyson Fury, one of the best fighters in the world. It's a Hollywood story. It will sell. And that is what Eddie Hearn is trying to do.
There's a problem there. I look at both boxers as aging. Tyson Fury aging, Joshua aging. I mean, people believe that they've gone past their prime. So do you think this fine money generating boxing fights, so on and so forth? But do you think this particular hype about them is something that we should always look forward to?
Well, we can't help it. We can't help the hype. We can't help the hype. It's part of the game too. It's part of entertainment. Boxing sports is entertainment as well.
Definitely.
You understand? So that entertainment value will always be there. And despite these two fighters, argue, yes, they might have passed their prime, but you can't take it away from them. The most talked about boxers on planet Earth, and we are all anticipating that fight. The build-up alone is mouth-watering. It's mouth-watering. To see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in the ring, it is something that everybody, every sponsor, every agent wants to put their money on. And talking about age, there's no much difference between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury is 37 years old. Anthony Joshua is 36.
Yes, but the current world boxers, I don't think Joshua lost his belt some time ago.
Well, it is even more exciting now. I remember the days of the Klitschko brothers.
The Klitschko brothers.
That's boxing was boring.
Very boring.
Was boring.
And those guys dominated for almost a decade or more than.
Klitschko. He would just stand one place and start pounding the other. There's no. It was boring, but now there's excitement. There's Tyson Fury, there's Anthony Joshua. It's a good one.
All right, we just hope that deals are concluded on time so that we have these two boxers going into the ring and outdo themselves in that manner. World number one, Jannik Sinner, confirmed on Friday he will not compete in the US Open, the final Grand Slam of the season, because of a right knee injury. Even though I have been working hard with my team and my medical staff, we have now had to make the difficult decision that I will not be competing in the US Open this year. We have been back on court in Monte Carlo over the last couple of days and have realized that I will need more time to recover from my right knee issue. This guy is a 5-time Grand Slam winner, but I believe that this is just a ploy to get fully recovered.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
You know why I'm
take
disappointed?
The shine off this particular.
I am disappointed because Carlos Alcaraz is returning to the US Open. And I wanted to see both Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner once again. Now, we've been saying Jannik Sinner without a Carlos Alcaraz. And while Carlos Alcaraz was not in action, we had the likes of Alexander Zverev winning a Grand Slam. And we're also not forgetting, we also have a Novak Djokovic, who is also in the mix, the veteran, the never say die. But I would have loved to have a Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, Alexander Zverev, a Novak Djokovic in the US Open. But without a Carlos Alcaraz, without a Jannik Sinner, it leaves a sour taste in the mouth, because we'll be a lot of people are saying, well, Jannik Sinner has been dominating because Carlos Alcaraz has been out for over 4 months with a wrist injury. Now he's back and Jannik Sinner is off again with a knee injury. It's really disappointing. It's really disappointing that Jannik Sinner would not be participating in the US Open. I looked forward. I was hoping to see a Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz final once again, playing for hours. But we'll take what we get.
Yes, but I want to believe that it might not be. We are not disputing the fact that he has a knee injury. I'm not disputing that. I mean, judging by the fact that he played last in July when he won the Wimbledon and so on and so forth. This is just last month, so to say. Well, I think he has a point there, but unfortunately, that's how it is in sports. You believe that somebody is there at this particular time, and at another time, the person is no longer there. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps he comes next year for a better Grand Slam where we will face Alcaraz.
Carlos Alcaraz.
And now let's talk about volleyball. Nigeria's women's beach volleyball team will face Mozambique in the semi-final of the 2026 African Beach Volleyball Championship in it's in Alexandria, not Morocco. Alexandria, Egypt on Saturday, that's today, with a place in the final at stake. The duo of Esther Umba and Pamela Bawa booked Nigeria's place in the last four after defeating Morocco 2-1, that is 21-17, 15-21 and 15-11 in the thrilling quarterfinal at Abu Haj Beach on Friday, which was yesterday. Nigeria won the opening set 21-17 before Morocco responded strongly to take the second 21-15 and force a decisive third set. Bawa and her teammate, however, held their nerve in the decider, winning 15-11 to complete the comeback victory and secure their semi-final berth in that particular encounter. Nigeria will be facing Mozambique, but beach soccer, we have beach volleyball. We hardly do a lot in that direction.
Well, these are some of the sports that attention needs to be given to
media presence and all that.
Beach volleyball is big. It's an event in the Olympics, let's not forget, and it could be a medal-winning sporting activity for Nigeria. For Nigeria through to the semi-final, I think we've been experiencing too many disappointments, and we need something to celebrate. And if beach volleyball can give us that thing to celebrate, why, it is welcome. And I wish the Nigerian female volleyball team are currently in Alexandria all the best and moving forward. And hopefully, sport administration attention will be given to these sports. I don't like to call them other sports, because when we talk about football, we say football and other sports, and it is in Nigeria, it is looking like it is football, track and field, probably table tennis, before we start talking about volleyball and every other sport. But I think proper and equal attention should be given to every sport, and those federations should step up their game. The federations, it is very important at state levels too. They need to step up their game. Tournaments need to be held in the country. Nigeria, we have beautiful beaches all over the place. I do not see a reason why we do not have beach volleyball tournaments in the country. There are a lot of beaches. Beaches should not, yes, they are recreational areas, and unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, most of these beaches have turned spiritual centers. People go there for religious activities, and this should not just be that. It should not just be strictly recreational and religious or cultural practices alone. We should also be using our beaches for sporting activities. Why can't we hold volleyball tournaments in one of these or all of these are beautiful beaches scattered all over the country? We have beautiful coastline, we have beautiful shorelines all over the place, and we should take advantage of these things. It is not when we have international tournaments, we are going to Alexandria, going to Egypt, playing beach volleyball. Go to the likes, the Caribbeans, Brazil and all of that. They play these sports, and it's a pastime activity. You go to beaches to relax, and you also play beach volleyball. It's not. It should be also a pastime activity. The way football is a pastime activity in the country. Any street you go to, any street corner, we call it monkey post. You see monkey post. You see kids playing football. Beach volleyball should be so.
Yeah, you see, there is something that just struck my mind a while ago while discussing this matter. Talking about beach volleyball. When you want to catch them young, you go to the schools. What are the schools doing? Do the schools have these facilities? Do the schools, what arrangement? I think it boils down to administration. I mean, you see, the schools, we used to have inter-house sports in those days. I don't think we have inter-house sports, though some schools still engage in such. But how do we discover these stars? I mean, this is somebody these are people who just came into the limelight. Nobody knew about them until now. Is it when they go international that you start hearing about them and Nigeria not participating well?
You see, when we talk about developmental sports, catching them young, I feel very bad. It has turned to a talk shop. It is a talk shop, and most people use it as a platform. They use developmental sport as an SPV to achieve something. Those that have ambitions of heading maybe federations or have political ambitions, they use developmental sports as that special purpose vehicle to gain popularity or attention, and most time it is a one-off thing. That is my problem. You have somebody organize a tournament and you have pressmen come and cover the event, and they say the purpose of this is to ensure that we engage the youth and we promote sports development. After that, it ends there. So I personally, I want to say the issue of catching them young, sports development and our education, it should be a policy of government, and that should also involve the Ministry of Education. It should be a Ministry of Education and a government policy where you have sports and academies go pari passu. That is how it is done. I like to use the United States of America as an example, because you cannot reinvent the wheel. They have been able to successfully make sports and education go together, and there are incentives they put in place to ensure that young people are interested in playing sports while they are in school. And what are these incentives? Sports scholarship. You have a lot of.
Do you think we have the capacity to do that sports scholarship?
We do.
So what is preventing government from doing this?
That is why it is a case of the willingness, the political will. It all boils down to political will. And
or the financial implications?
It is not financial. I will not agree. It is. I hate going political because it was on published in the Punch newspaper today that over 100 billion was spent in the Osun election.
Massive.
So there is money. You can't tell me that there is no money.
Priorities.
It is priorities. Where are our priorities? Are we investing in people, or where are we investing in projects? That is where do our priorities lie? Where do our priorities lie? Are we celebrating how much is in the purse of state governors as a success, or are we celebrating the impact on the lives of the people?
Yeah.
So it is our priority. It's still political will, and we still have not been able to grasp the need for these things and how the resultant effect will come back to bite all of us in the behind if we do not do these things. So it should be a government policy. Education, it should be part of our curriculum. Sports should be part of our curriculum. And like I mentioned earlier, incentives must also be put in place to encourage young Nigerians who are in school pursuing their academics to also pursue a sports career. There should be sports scholarship for those that have been able to stand out, to distinguish themselves. There should be sports scholarship up to university level. We watch the youth games that just finished in Oregon. They were all university students there. They were university students representing the United States of America. All university students, and a large number of them were on sports scholarship. Look at the NBA. You must have a standard, a set GPA before you play in the NBA. That is policy. That is government policy, encouraging academics and sports. If we don't do this, we might not get it right. All this one-off organizing one tournament and tomorrow
because of political reasons, political benefits.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you win an election, you now put somebody that supported you in the position of authority.
We don't use it as a special purpose vehicle to get to where we want to get to. It's not a policy.
It's not.
Because this should start from the primary schools.
Right pegs in the right hole.
We should have schools that have courts, pitches, tracks, and students that are brilliant in sporting activities should get scholarships.
Now you have dilapidated schools all over the place. You think they have not even been able to renovate all these schools? It's now the sporting events, sporting activities and all that. So it's very unfortunate.
We mean business. We are not ready yet.
We are not ready yet. All right, we just hope that the government is listening. Let's do the right things. I mean, you have a lot of, when you go to various markets in Nigeria, you see a lot of boys doing different things. Manpower is wasting.
Energy wasting in this country.
Rolling wheelbarrows, carrying loads on their head, running around.
Vehicles to collect money.
Selling bread on the road, selling eggs on the road, running around, wasting their time, looking for what to eat.
Not everybody can be a boy. Not everybody can be.
Yes.
Everybody guys can be Pella.
It's very unfortunate, and it, like you said, look at the beggars in the streets carrying plates around. These guys, they have strength. Nigeria has not participated in boxing for a very long time. We used to have boxers who were good in those days.
When you talk about resource, what is a nation's resource? The number one resource any nation has is human resource.
That is it.
It's human resource. Forget the petroleum, the oil, solid minerals. It is human resource. What is China using? Human resource.
It's very unfortunate that we have found ourselves in this situation. I mean, you have Nigeria not been. We'll be back after this time out, please. Don't change that there. Right, let's go to football. I tell you, the series is getting heated up, but we need to come back to what we are actually doing here. Edo Queens get home support ahead of CAF qualifiers. Edo Queens have received a major show of support ahead of their campaign in the CAF Women's Champions League WAFU qualifiers in Burkina Faso, with the club's chairman, Chief Emperor Jared Tenebe, calling for prayers across Edo State for the team's success. Tenebe said he had booked masses in all Catholic churches across the state for the team, while urging other Christian denominations and Muslim communities to join in seeking divine intervention for the players and officials. I tell you, praying, and of course doing the right thing. I want to believe they go together.
Well, in sports, I believe actually there is no
shortcut.
There is no shortcut to it. It is hard work. It is preparation.
Yeah, but Edo Queens, they won the league.
Yes, they are the league winners. I'm talking about Edo Queens.
Yes.
The maiden edition of the WAFU B tournament they participated in, they won it, and they came fourth in the CAF Women's Champions League. So it is a good one for them. So for Jared Tenebe, the Emperor, and he's the chairman of Edo State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, also the APC, and also a football administrator. A good one supporting football, supporting sports, but it still falls back to what we have been saying earlier, that this support should not be ceremonial. It should not be until Edo Queens are participating in the WAFU B tournament that support should be given to them. What happened to Edo Queens during the Nigerian Women Football League? What happens to providing buses free for people to go and watch matches of Edo Queens at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium during the league phase proper? This is what we are saying. You have to put incentives. We should stop using sports as political tools. I'm not saying Jared Tenebe is using it as a political tool, because he's political. He's the chairman of APC. He's a politician. You understand? So when these things happen, there is a tendency for us to scratch our head and say, okay, this is coming from, So it's a good one. We encourage the support of sports from sports administrators, leaders, politicians, businessmen, private citizens alike. But this support should not be seen to be in sections.
Yes.
It should be not in piecemeal. It should cut across. Edo Queens need support. They deserve to get support. Of course, representing the country at the WAFU B, yes, they need to get support. But that support should not be until they have qualified. It should be throughout the league phase. Yeah. The kits, provision of what they need, and showing up at the stadium, encouraging fans to support the Edo Queens. So it's a good one. Kudos to Jared Tenebe, but I still believe it should be a policy. These things should not be a one-off. It should not be one-off. It's not until they are qualified for the continental tournaments and that we make ceremonies of these things. The ceremony should start from when the league starts.
All right, and let us look at it also from this perspective. We've talked about this before, talking about the fact that you have this zonal qualifiers, playoffs in Africa. It never used to be like this. The best do not always represent the African continent. So we talked about the fact that Nigeria's under-17 football team that won the World Cup, under-17 World Cup 5 times in the past. It's been a long time since we qualified for the under-17 World Cup. These zonal arrangements, because Africa knows that football belongs to West Africa. But unfortunately, they cancel themselves out before the main tournament. And of course, Nigeria has dominated women's football for a very long time. But Morocco still keeps winning this African Women's Championship. I mean, I'm talking about the Champions League for Africa. Nigeria has not won it. Well, I mean, what should we do to ensure that this we surpass this stage, we do the right things, and of course, don't forget, our women's football is going down.
Well, another issue with there are a lot of issues surrounding critics of the West African football union tournament arrangement. Critics of it have come out with a lot of reasons, one of which poor organization is part of it. There is also the issue of facilities during the tournament, WAFU tournament, and a lot of critics has also criticized the financial implication of travel during this WAFU tournament. And a major critic of this tournament is one, there is regional politics on one side. Yes. Then there is also the aspect of losing out the best you have in a particular region. Like West Africa, for example, you have the tendency to lose out the best West Africa has to offer in terms of either Ghana is knocked out, Nigeria is knocked out, Cameroon is knocked out, Senegal is knocked out. You are losing the best legs from the region as regards this WAFU tournament. A lot of people have said instead of this regional system of qualification for tournament, let us have an arrangement or a tournament for qualification.
Yeah,
there should be a tournament that will determine who and who qualifies, and it will also cut the cost of traveling.
Yeah, from one place
to another. Because another thing, when you're talking about this WAFU tournament, especially for youth, the youth cadre of football in the country, another issue is age verification. After qualifying from the region, they go to tournaments and they find out that they are overage. Because these things are not done during the qualification or during the regional arrangements. They are not done. So all of these critics have come out to talk about this WAFU arrangement. There are a lot of things critics are saying. One, age verification is an issue. Travel arrangement is an issue. Proper coordination. Facilities. Another issue. And they're having best legs from a region being knocked out, not having good representation when the tournament starts proper, especially when we are moving out of the continent, talking about World Cups. That is another issue critics have raised with the WAFU arrangement. But I guess the regional football body and CAF, they are taking notes and they are hearing the complaints coming from this regional arrangement. But the argument is it is supposed to be a kind of bringing out the best from every region to represent Africa, especially at international competition. But then again, the critics will say, no, it is knocking out the best.
Yes, it's knocking out the best.
Most times, you might not get the best out of it. It's football, anything can happen. You can have players having injuries. You can have anything happen on that day of the tournament, and you might not get the best.
Imagine, let's say for instance, Brazil and Argentina meeting the semi-final. You have Uzbekistan and Somalia meeting the semi-final.
You see,
just imagine that. I don't think it is good for Africa. I just hope that they rethink that policy and see how it works out. All right, let's go to the EPL. It started yesterday. Yes. What's your take? 3-0. Nigerian players, most of them, that they will be participating in matches today. Awoniyi and the likes, they did not do well yesterday. 3-0.
Onyeka was in action. Awoniyi was in action yesterday for Coventry City. Coventry City, they were given a very, very warm welcome by the champions Arsenal.
But yesterday. Lampard should have expected it now.
Yes, Lampard should have expected it. They started well In the first half, they started well, but experience in the EPL is quite different from that coming from the Championship.
Well, these guys have been playing football for a long time. I don't. That really is so shocking to me.
It is different. It is different. The levels are different.
At that time, Lampard, they are age mates. I mean,
no, but the quality of players you have on the pitch, you have to look at the quality of players. You have a Declan Rice, you have a Bukayo Saka, you have a Kai Havertz.
This is EPL. These are EPL players for crying out loud.
Yes, but the commentary players,
senior boys are senior boys,
unknown, and you understand. So we didn't expect much from Coventry City. Goals coming from Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, Odegaard. It was expected.
3-0 was very loud.
It was expected. It could have been worse than that.
Yes,
it could have been a trumping. But I think Coventry City, they should hold their head high. They play good football. They didn't fold. Although going forward in that particular game, you could see that Coventry City, they were not brave enough. They were not brave enough going forward. I saw that they didn't come out until they were about 2 goals down. Then they had nothing to lose. They started playing and they left the area open. Well, they should learn from that experience. I believe they would learn from that experience. But taking nothing away from Frank Lampard, he has played in the Premier League. He played with Chelsea. He has coached in the Premier League before, and he brought Coventry City back to the EPL, winning the championship. So there are no mere pushovers, but there is something. It's also stage fright, playing in the very intimidating Emirates with the fans shouting, screaming. I am not sure they have played in such an arena except during the football cup union, talking about probably the FA Cups and the likes coming to the Emirates. But a good one, good showing by Arsenal, with intent to the rest of the park that they mean business. It is saying to the rest of the park they mean business, and Arsenal is still one club that we have to look out for. Yesterday we didn't see the new signing Bruno Guimaraes because they also have some new guns in the team. As Konsa is in the team. He just signed from Aston Villa. They unveiled him. He didn't play. And Arsenal, they have big guns. They are the gunners. They have big guns. They have big guns, and they are not waiting to unleash them.
They are not waiting. Well, I have something yesterday while watching that match. I just believed Coventry, together with their coach Lampard, they just looked ordinary. Lampard knew what he was going to face.
Of course he did.
He knew Arteta was there. He knew those guys are the defending champions. He knew all this.
In local balance,
he still could not find a solution to the fluidity of
Coventry and Arsenal are not on the same level.
They are not on the same
quality, even in the terms of technical ability of the coaches, you cannot compare Lampard to an Arteta.
Perhaps we're playing good football is different from being a good coach.
You understand? So they are not on the same level. I didn't expect much from Coventry City. It would have been a shocker of the season if Coventry had gotten a result against Arsenal yesterday. It would have been an upset. It would be an upset. They are the champions. Arsenal are the champions of the EPL. Going against Coventry City, who just gained promotion. No. 3-0. I don't think it is a good result for Coventry. It could have been worse. It could have been 5, could have been 6-7. It's a good result. It's a good welcome for Coventry City. Life in the EPL, they should know this is business now. All hands should be on deck. And for Coventry City, the goal now will be survival in the EPL.
But it's still too early to
it is not too early. It is not too early. They should be thinking of they should look at their fixtures.
Yes.
Look at games that they probably can gain points. Look at those that is out of their reach and see how they will manage those games. Because for Coventry City now, it's not a case of what do we do? What are the games we have going forward? It should be real management coming into play now. Against Arsenal, yes, that is it. If you are playing Arsenal, the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, you know you are not expecting to get a result from those games. The best you can do, manage those games. If you get a draw from them, beautiful. But now looking at you can now struggle with the rest of the pack and look at the other teams
that you
are facing that you can get a result from. Not calling anybody in the EPL or any club in the EPL a small club, but the likes of Hull City, you can look at Hull City, you can get a result against Hull City, and Ipswich Town, a Brighton,
what about Sunderland,
a Fulham, those Brentford, are the fixtures they should start ticking. because it's all about survival now. They just came into the EPL. First of all, they need to survive. Then the next season, before they start getting ambitious.
All right, before they start getting ambitious, let's look at the matches that we played today. In the next less than an hour from now, you have Hull City taking on Manchester United. You have Everton taking on Crystal Palace at 3 o'clock, same time. Ipswich Town and Sunderland, of course. Nottingham Forest taking on Leeds at the same time. A couple of these matches, I mean, should we expect something big from these matches?
For Manchester United, going by their form last season, at the end of the season, Manchester United, they picked up form. But there's a lot of question now surrounding Michael Carrick, the coach of Manchester United. Now the question is, can he replicate that same form of last season this season, owing to the fact that he will be participating in a lot of tournaments? Last season it was just the Premier League. Now he will be playing the Carling Cup, he will be playing the FA Cup, he will be playing the Champions League. So there are a lot of fixtures, and very soon they will start coming very thick and fast. So you might have to play 3 games per week or 2 games per week. So the question now is, how can Michael Carrick manage rotation with Manchester United this season? Will he be able to pull it off, or will the ghost of former coaches, the likes of Amorim, come back to haunt?
Keep haunting them.
It's a big issue. After Ferguson, they've not been able to get it right.
Nobody, no coach.
So will Michael Carrick be the one to break that yoke?
It becomes a huge problem.
It's a huge problem for Manchester United. But I get them to. I believe they'll get a result against Hull City today. To be a win for Manchester United, no doubt. For Ipswich Town and Sunderland, well, one and the same. Let's see what will come out of that one. Nottingham Forest and Leeds United, well, I can't put a finger on that one. For Tottenham Hotspur, they have a lot to prove this season.
They just need to do well.
Because they survived relegation last season. For Tottenham Hotspur, they have a lot to prove this season. So it is expected that starting this season, they should start well and get a result against Brentford. Brighton and Aston Villa. For Unai Emery. Emery should start pushing for more trophies, because he has
higher trophies.
Yes. Emery has made a statement. He has made a statement.
He has conquered Europa League. He has
conquered Europa, and he should be looking at the Champions League and the EPL title. And of course, Aston Villa, they've been making some great signings. They have good signings. He's trying to reinforce his team this season. So we'll see how they will play against Brighton. For Manchester City, the question is the big shoes, the void led by Pep Guardiola. Will Maresca fill those shoes? Because against Arsenal in the Community Shield, there are a lot of questions.
They were ordinary. So look,
there are a lot of questions that were not answered by Manchester City in that game. They looked very flat. They looked very ordinary, and they are taking on
this Manchester City team that conquered England for a very long time.
So Maresca is a high pressure job. It's a pressure cooker job. Let me put it like that. The Manchester City job for Enzo Maresca is a pressure cooker job, and he will have to prove his doubters wrong.
And very fast
tomorrow when they take on AFC Bournemouth, because if he starts losing games, they'll start calling for his head. And for Liverpool
and Newcastle,
they have a new coach in the likes of Areola, and for Liverpool, it wasn't too good for them pre-season. And of course, Mo Salah
I didn't see
is no
something beautiful
there.
About them. Nothing beautiful.
Nothing beautiful about Liverpool to say in pre-season. Areola coming in. A lot of people say yes, it's pre-season. Let us wait and see what they do when the season starts proper, and we'll get to see that against Newcastle United tomorrow. Before we see Fulham taking on Chelsea.
All right, before we see Fulham taking on Chelsea, and of course in the La Liga you have Real Madrid taking on Espanyol. That will be today. But you have a situation whereby Real Madrid, they have a good coach now. Well, if an old foe talking about the special one, and you have Barcelona there and so on and so forth. That rivalry can it be rekindled? Just as it used to be in the past.
This season, I can't wait to see El Clasico, because for Real Madrid and Barcelona, despite winning the league, is yes, thumbs up if you win the league, but a crime, harakiri, you must not commit, is losing the El Clasico.
Losing the Clasico.
It is punishable by
whatever.
Hanging. So it will be really nice to see a Clasico this time for Jose Mourinho. Is back in the thick of things. Talking about the coach of Real Madrid. Let us see how Jose Mourinho will manage the egos of the big players in Real Madrid, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham. He just signed Diamande, most expensive African player right now in Real Madrid. Let us see what Jose Mourinho will bring to the table, and we'll start seeing that in the Spanish La Liga, 8:30 p.m. Nigerian time, when Real Madrid takes on Espanyol. And for Barcelona, yes, we will see also Barcelona taking on Elche.
Yes.
That will be tomorrow. We'll see the likes of Lamine Yamal and the Rafinhas of this world. Let us see once again. We are back to it.
All right, before we go, let's just quickly slot something in. And FIFA bans Argentina's Paredes and for 10 matches and Molina for 7. What does this portend for international football?
It is expected, because it was a show of shame in the final of that World Cup. Argentina do after the game. It is expected, but the ban wouldn't affect them in their various clubs and what they do. It will just be for national engagement. If Argentina has a game, they'll start counting it. That's when the bans. I expected it to come. It came quite late, but you know what they say, better late than never.
Yeah, but they added something for parading a flag, something of that nature.
Yes, that's political. That was political.
But perhaps it also endangered the activities of the Argentina team.
Yes, that was political. That was over one island being over England, the Falkland Islands between the England and Argentina. That was really, really political.
All right, that's how far we can go on Sports Rendezvous this morning, talking about Sports Rendezvous on Premier FM 3.5 from the stable of Radio Nigeria Ibadan. It has been Ernest Odiri and Ojake Ozoya. And until Monday, when another sports program talking about Premier Sports will come your way on Monday morning with Ojake Ozoya, is bye for now.